What's up, guys? I'm coming to you today to talk to you a little bit about my gaming philosophy. And when it comes to gaming philosophy, and what I mean by that in particular, is my approach to games. What you can expect from me on this channel when it comes to covering games, how I see them, how I really go about the process of playing games. And so I want to start here first off. My first real main philosophy when it comes to gaming is sitting with the games. Sitting with the game, guys. What do I mean by that? Sitting with the games mean for me, I really try to take my time with the game that I'm playing. Understand the message that it's trying to bring to me. The systems in the game. Really getting into it. You know what I mean? Because I don't feel like people sit with games as much as they should nowadays. When I was younger, we didn't have a lot when I was younger. You know, we did well. My parents worked hard and they provided for us, and we had a decent life. I wanted for nothing in that regard. Props to my mother and father for that, because I wanted for nothing. But we didn't have a ton of money. So when I did get games, I only got maybe one or two at a time. Those were the games that I had. So my options were limited. So that means you got the game that you got. Whatever you asked them for, you didn't know if it was going to turn out to be good or not. You just got the game that you got. And so you made do with what you had. And when you got ready to play the game, you just had that game. So you sat down and you said, okay, well, this is the game I got. And you will find out sometimes that when you sit with games, really take in the games, you'll see how they can grow and how they can blossom. Not everything starts off like gangbusters and you just hit it and it's, oh man, this is amazing. Not everything starts off like that, but it can actually build up to that place. So when you're younger like that, you don't have a ton of options, because I don't know about you guys, man, but the backlog is real for me. Like, I've got so many games that I need to play, guys. I mean, on Steam, on Xbox, on PlayStation, wherever. Switch, I've got too many games to play, more than I have time. With work and responsibilities and making my videos and all of these different types of things, guys, I seriously just don't have the time to play as many of them as I would like to. Hopefully when I'm doing this right here full time, I'll have even more time that I can dedicate towards it, bring you guys more videos in that regard. But when it comes to just sitting with the games, feeling like I'm missing out, I don't get that feeling. But I think that's what drives not sitting with games long enough, is we have way too many options. I love having the options. Now, don't get me wrong, but when you got so many options, you feel like you can just hop to something else. If something doesn't catch your attention in 10, 15, 20 minutes or even an hour of gameplay, man, this ain't no big deal. I'm playing something else. And the way that people talk about it now is, it's trash. That's the first thing people say. It's garbage, man. Worst game I've ever played. And they just hop to something else. And then they'll come back years later and they'll remember that they have this game and maybe reinstall it, and then they'll say, you know what, I'm just gonna play this. Let's see. And then they'll play it for 2 or 3 hours, and then they start to develop, and they're like, oh my gosh, I don't understand why I didn't like this game. This game is amazing. And it's because they actually took the time to play it, and they find out that they actually love it. And then they may feel bad about it because the game will not have any sequels, because people didn't sit with it the first time around and support it enough. So then it becomes a cult hit. I got some news for y'all guys. A cult hit, that just means that we didn't give it the attention it deserved. Like that's what that means. Like, the game was still that good back then. This was always the game. You just didn't sit with it enough. And you know, sometimes we don't hear about certain games that don't have good advertisement and things like that. But I'm talking about when you actually have tried the game, didn't give it enough time, and come back years later and it's like, oh man, I really wish we could get a sequel for this. I wish I had paid more attention. I've been there. I've done that. So that's why I really had to get back to my roots of sitting with the games and taking my time with the games, guys, because sometimes these games, they take time to breathe. You don't even understand the systems. You're saying that the combat system is bad, but you don't even know, you've not even got into the thick of the combat system. You've not even developed with the system. Sometimes it gets better as you go. Now, I'm not saying, and trust me guys, I'm not saying you need to be playing 25 to 30 hours in a game before it's good. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that because I know some games that are like that. And I don't begrudge anybody from saying, hey, I'm not playing the game 20 hours before it's good. I understand that. I'm just saying, within reason, 4 or 5 hours into a game, 3, 4, 5 hours, when you start to get in that area and it starts to pick up for you, that's when you're going to realize, hey, I'm glad I played this long enough because I almost gave up on it. It's been some all-time great games that I had that feeling that you get 1 to 2-ish hours in, you're like, oh man, I don't know if this is going to work out. I might not end up playing this. And then you go just a little bit further and it turns into one of the best games you've ever played. That's happened to me, guys, And then my second philosophy on gaming is not expecting a masterpiece with every release. Because if I'm being truthful, guys, I've played more 6, 7, and 8s than I have 9s and 10s. And that's crucial, guys. It's so important. We can't be sitting up here expecting masterpieces. Now, I'm not saying that all games have to be 6, 7, and 8s and there are no bad games. Because we know there's some bad games out there. I'm looking at you, Gullum. Seriously, guys, Gullum is just not good, okay? I get that. And there are plenty of Gullums out there, to be fair. So I'm not talking about those games that we can honestly feel are not good games like Gullum, But I'm talking about the fact that there are more 6, 7, and 8s, and it's always going to be that way. A true masterpiece is a masterpiece for a reason. That means that it's rare. Okay, we're not going to get 9s and 10s, guys. I think it's just the comparison thing. Comparing things can sometimes be the thief of joy. Because seriously, when you're doing that and you're doing certain games that are really good, a disservice. Because when you say things like, oh man, I love this game, but it's not as good as Red Dead Redemption 2. Guys, we're talking about Red Dead Redemption 2. It's one of the greatest games ever made. It's not even fair to compare the two, to be honest with you. Even if it was a Western. Even if it was a Western, guys, don't expect it to be Red Dead Redemption 2. Try to get the message that particular game is trying to give you without immediately saying what it's not. Because when we do that, we can rob ourselves of something that's an incredible experience. I look at it like this. If I started playing hockey or you're playing hockey and somebody said to you, oh man, and you're actually good. And somebody said to you, hey man, you're real good, but you're not as good as Wayne Gretzky. Who is? Who is as good as Wayne? You know what I mean? Maybe a handful of people. It's like watching a great basketball player and saying he's not as good as Michael Jordan. He's good, but who is? A handful of people. It's not many people who can even reach that level, So it's that thief of joy thing where you just have to try and take each game for what it is. Even necessarily when you're playing a game that's within a series, but it's not continuing a series. Like say you got a game that's such and such game 1 and 2. And then they're doing sort of like a spin-off. It's in that universe, but it's not connected. It's not the part 3. So then at that point, you have to kind of take it for what it is. What are they trying to do differently? Because clearly they're doing something differently because they're not saying title 3. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm saying, guys. Don't expect a masterpiece. We're not going to have Witcher 3s and God of War, Ragnaroks, and Clair Obscurs, and Baldur's Gate 3s, and Skyrims cranking out all over the place. It's just not gonna happen. And when it does happen, we're all totally grateful for it. I'll give you an example. I love Lariat. I love the original Sin series, and I love Baldur's Gate 3. Love Baldur's Gate 3. And they've got a new Divinity game coming out. And everybody's already saying, oh my gosh, this is going to be their best game ever. It's going to be the greatest thing they've ever made. And it very well could be because they're incredible. I love Lariat. But I don't know that it's going to be a better game than Baldur's Gate 3. I know it's going to be bigger. I know it's going to be more polished. I know it's going to be technically better. I don't know if it's going to capture the magic of Baldur's Gate 3. I don't know if the characters are going to hit like the characters did, like Karlach. I don't know if those characters are going to be that good or everything else around it. I don't know that. I just don't know. Because guess what? Cyberpunk was going to be the greatest game ever until it wasn't. Like, Cyberpunk was going to be CD Projekt Red's greatest game ever until it wasn't. And it's a great game. That's one of my favorite games of all time, especially how it turned out. In the end, I've already told you guys I love Cyberpunk and what that game did for my life. But the truth of the matter is, The Witcher 3 is better than Cyberpunk. For most people it is. Even if you're somebody who loves Cyberpunk better than Witcher 3 because it's your type of game. Generally speaking, Witcher 3 is held in higher regard than Cyberpunk. And Cyberpunk was touted as being instantly better until it wasn't. It does some things better, but it's not a better game than Witcher 3 overall. And that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying Divinity won't, because they could very well go back to back, guys. They could take gaming landscape to a whole nother place. And the next Divinity could just absolutely crush it. And I will be there on day one regardless, because I love Larian. I'm just saying I'm not expecting it. If Larian cranks out Divinity and it's an 8.5, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't expect them to make anything less than an 8.5. I don't. They're just too good, too dialed in. If they got the same team, they're too dialed in to make anything less than an 8.5. So that's what I'm expecting. Bare minimum, I'm expecting an 8.5 for them. But I'm not expecting no 9 or 10. If I get that, I'll be incredible. Because Original Sin 2 was amazing, but I don't think Original Sin 2 is a 10. I think it's maybe an 8.5 to a 9. It's got some problems with difficulty, and I'll get into that because I want to cover that series, because I really like that series. But I didn't like that magic armor system. I didn't like that, that's a personal preference. And some other things, because Fort Joy, oh my gosh. Fort Joy, guys, I wish I could skip that every time. After the first time, I just wish I could skip it. It's just, I'll get into that. I don't want to talk about that right now. But these are my gaming philosophy, guys, my 2 main gaming philosophies. And I'll touch more on my approach to games. This is just to touch on a little bit of what you can expect from me when I come to cover these games and when I bring these games to you guys. I'm not trying to be first. I'm trying to be thorough, play the game, really experience the game. That way when I give my thoughts on it, I can really tell you how I feel about it from an honest place. What I like, what I don't like, because I will be honest. I am a very positive person, but at the same time, I'm not going to be toxic positive and never say anything is wrong with a game, because there are no perfect games in my experience. So you guys will get that from me. But that's been my time today, guys. I want to tell you guys, like I always do, when we put effort into dreams, they become passions. And when dreams become passions, they can change our lives, guys. Peace and love.